You're stuck in traffic. Meeting starts in 10 minutes, and you're not moving. Your chest tightens, your jaw clenches. You check your phone obsessively as if the traffic app can change reality. You feel your day spiraling out of control. But here's the question. What exactly are you trying to control? Around 50 AD, a slave named Epictetus was born in Phrygia. He was literally owned by another human being, beaten, crippled, powerless over nearly every aspect of his life. Yet he became one of the most influential philosophers in history. And his central teaching, a simple distinction that changes everything. Epictetus wrote a handbook, literally called the Enchiridion, which means handbook, distilling Stoic philosophy into practical principles. And it opens with the most important idea you'll ever encounter. There are things which are within our power, and there are things which are beyond our power. That's it. That's the whole game. Epictetus says what's within your power is simple. Your opinions, your aims, your desires, your aversions. In one word, your choices. Everything else, your body, your property, your reputation, your position in life, not fully yours. They can be taken away. They're on loan from the universe. Here's the radical part. Epictetus says if you think freedom means controlling external things, you'll be hindered, disturbed. You will find fault with both gods and men. But if you focus only on what's truly yours, your internal responses, no one will ever compel you. No one will restrict you. You will have no enemy, nor will you suffer any harm. Epictetus gives us a test case. He says if you have a favorite cup, remind yourself, it's just a cup. Thus, if it is broken, you can bear it harsh. Maybe, but then he escalates. If you embrace your child or your wife, remind yourself that you embrace a mortal, and thus, if either of them dies, you can bear it. Now it gets uncomfortable. People misunderstand this. Epictetus isn't saying don't love, he's saying don't confuse loving something with controlling it. Don't love with an invisible contract that reality must cooperate with your feelings. Love while knowing everything is borrowed. Love while knowing loss is part of the deal. This is freedom, not coldness. Then Epictetus drops one of the most famous lines in philosophy. Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of things. Thus, death is nothing terrible, else it would have appeared so to Socrates. But the terror consists in our notion of death that it is terrible. Read that again. It's not the thing. It's your view of the thing. Epictetus is ruthlessly practical. He says when you go to bathe, expect the bath to be crowded, people pushing, others stealing your stuff. If you prepare for this, you won't be thrown off. But if you go expecting perfection and encounter reality, you'll blame everyone else. The issue isn't the chaos, it's your unrealistic expectations meeting it. Here's another image Epictetus uses. Remember that you are an actor in a drama of such sort as the author chooses. You didn't choose your role. You don't control the script, but you can choose how well you perform your part. Rich or poor, healthy or sick, honored or unknown. None of that is up to you, but how you inhabit that role. Completely up to you. Think about what this means today. You're scrolling social media. Someone you barely know is thriving. New job, exotic vacation, perfect relationship. You feel inadequate. But what are you trying to control? Their success, your comparative status. These are beyond your power. What is in your power? How you interpret what you see. Whether you engage with comparison at all. Epictetus has a line so simple it sounds almost stupid at first. Demand not that events should happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do happen, and you will go on well. This isn't resignation, it's not giving up. It's radical acceptance of what is so you can respond from reality, not from fantasy. Epictetus was crippled, probably from torture by his owner. Yet he writes, sickness is an impediment to the body, but not to the will unless itself pleases. Your body can be constrained. Your external circumstances can be terrible. But your will, your choice of response, that remains free unless you surrender it voluntarily. Here's one that cuts deep. Epictetus says, never say I have lost it, but I have restored it. Your child died. It is restored. Your wife died. She is restored. Your money is gone. That likewise is restored. Everything you have is on loan. When it's taken back, you haven't lost something that was yours. You've returned something you were borrowing. Epictetus asks, what would you pay for peace of mind? Then he says start small. Is a little oil spilled? a little wine stolen. Say to yourself, this is the price paid for peace and tranquility. Every annoyance is a test. Will you trade your inner peace for this? Will you let this small thing disturb you? You're choosing what to value. Epictetus uses the metaphor of a banquet. When food comes to you, take some. When it passes by, don't stop it. When it hasn't arrived yet, don't reach for it desperately. So with regard to children, wife, office, riches, this is how you engage with life, participating without grasping, present without desperate attachment. Epictetus shows remarkable emotional intelligence here. He says when someone is suffering, don't be fooled into thinking the external event is the problem, but also, and this is crucial, accommodate yourself to him and, if need be, groan with him. Take heed, however, not to groan inwardly. 2. Be compassionate outwardly, but don't adopt their interpretation inwardly. Then, Epictetus makes a bold claim. You can be unconquerable if you enter into no combat in which it is not in your own power to conquer. Stop fighting battles in the external world. Stop trying to force outcomes you can't control. Fight only the internal battle, mastering your responses, your judgments, your will. That battle you can win. Someone insults you. Epictetus says, remember that it is not he who gives abuse who affronts, but the view we take of these things as insulting. The words are just sounds. You're choosing to interpret them as insulting. You're granting them power. This doesn't mean accept abuse. It means understand where your suffering actually comes from. Epictetus goes full Stoic. Let death and exile and all other things which appear terrible be daily before your eyes, but death chiefly, and you will never entertain an abject thought, nor to eagerly covet anything memento mori. Not to be morbid, but to remember what matters, to keep perspective, to stop sweating the small stuff. Epictetus warns that if you pursue philosophy, people will mock you. They'll say you've gotten pretentious. They'll laugh. And here's his advice. Don't get defensive. Don't put on airs. Just persist. If you are persistent, those very persons who at first ridiculed will afterwards admire you. But if you are conquered by them, you will incur a double ridicule. Epictetus is practical above all. He says don't start with the big stuff. Start with spilled oil and stolen wine. Practice accepting small annoyances. Build the muscle. When you call your servant, consider that it is possible he may not come at your call. Expect reality. Practice acceptance on easy mode before life hands you the hard stuff. Here's one of Epictetus' best images. Everything has two handles, one by which it may be borne, another by which it cannot. Your brother acts unjustly. You can grab that fact by the handle of his injustice and be unable to bear it, or you can grab it by the handle that he's your brother, raised with you, and bear it. The same fact, different handle. Epictetus describes the advanced student. He censures no one, praises no one, blames no one, accuses no one, that says nothing concerning himself as being anybody or knowing anything. This isn't apathy, it's freedom from judgment, not checking the scoreboard constantly, not evaluating everything, just showing up, doing the work, moving through life without constant commentary. Near the end, Epictetus gets urgent. How long will you delay to demand of yourself the noblest improvements? Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for more information. You have the principles. You know what to do. You are no longer a boy but a grown man. Start now, not tomorrow. Now. Epictetus says, remember that now is the combat. Now the Olympiad comes on. Nor can it be put off. Life isn't a rehearsal. This is it. Every moment is the arena. Every choice is the competition. Not later when you're ready. Not tomorrow when you feel better. Now the games have begun. Are you competing or spectating your own life? Epictetus says the body is the proper measure of its possessions, as the foot is of the shoe. Stop at what fits, but if you move beyond it, you must necessarily be carried forward. As down a precipice, the shoe becomes gilded, then purple, then studded with jewels. It's no longer about the foot. You've lost the plot. Same with everything. Find the fit, then stop. Epictetus points to Socrates. Thus, Socrates became perfect, improving himself by everything, following reason alone, not by waiting for perfect conditions, not by avoiding difficulty, by using everything as practice. Every insult, every hardship, every injustice, fuel for improvement. The obstacle became the way. Epictetus ends by saying the first and most necessary topic isn't theory. It's practical application of principles. We spend all our time on why lying is wrong philosophically. Meanwhile, we lie. He says, have the principles ready at hand. Conduct me, Zeus, wherever your decrees have fixed my lot. I follow cheerfully. And, did I not, wicked and wretched, I must follow still. 2,000 years later, you're still stuck in that traffic. But now you understand you can't control the traffic. You can't control the meeting, you can't control the outcome, but you can control your response. You can choose not to suffer over what you can't change. You can use this moment as practice. The traffic hasn't moved, but you're free. That's Epictetus, that's the Enchiridion, that's the whole game. If this changed how you see control and freedom, hit the like button and subscribe. We're building a series on ancient wisdom for modern chaos. Drop a comment. What's one thing you're trying to control that's beyond your power?